Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new series in what might be to some of you guys a familiar game. We are here once again in Niche. It's been a few years since I've last played this game, but I really enjoyed it at the time, and I've always wanted to come back to it. And I think this is going to be a fun way to do it, so I figured we'll go ahead and jump back into a new story here. And to start off with, we have just one lone nicheling here. This is Domino, and she is a young creature who was unfortunately orphaned, left to fend for herself. She managed to survive her childhood, and now she's made it to teenhood, but, well, nichelings are pack creatures. They're not going to survive very long on their own, and so I think Domino here is gonna make her way off into the grass of the island. We could try to gather from this tree here, but she's not gonna be very good at it. I think we'd be better off sniffing around. I don't smell a berry bush. Oh, and that's interesting. We're on the Grass Mingle Island here, and mingled it sure is. We actually have some jungle here, in addition to the typical grassland, swamp, and savanna. That's interesting. We'll have to be careful, because I do see there's some stinky fruit, and I don't know if that means we're going to have any carnivorous plants. But that's not something Domino would really know about, and she can't actually see much of this island from here, so I think she's just gonna scurry off, do some sniffing. There's a cactus. We do have 10 food, so we keep our wits about us here. We probably... Oh, and it looks like an acorn has fallen. If we keep our wits about us, hopefully we'll be able to find something. Yes! Oh, what is this? It's a normal berry bush. That's perfect. All right. Well, Domino's too tired to gather from it today. However, she can now, and it's actually raining. We're going to make sure we gather up a bit of food. But then I think as she Oh, that's the bear. Okay, I was like, what is that sound? It's actually one of the nest bears. They're a little creepy looking, but they're not dangerous, at least not to us. They will defend any babies, but Domino is not a baby. She hasn't been for some time, and she doesn't have any babies of her own just yet, so I don't think she's going to worry too much about it. Instead, now that we've secured a food source, I think we'd best see if we can secure some company. Domino is not too fond of being alone, and she's been alone for quite some time. So we're gonna try and see as we clear out this area if we're able to call anyone to us. There's the bear here, the peaceful bear. I'm never prepared for their faces. I am just not. Oh my goodness. Unfortunately, though, doesn't seem little Domino's cries have been heard. We're gonna start clearing out some of this area, and I think we'll keep calling. Oh, hello! Who is this you've drawn near? This is Kukudan. Okay. A wanderer who is kind of interesting, very, very spiky, seems like. With the stinky tail, except it's hidden by that spiky body. The derp snout, short-sighted eyes, and blind eyes. Very low fertility, oh my goodness. But he just might be a friend, and if he sticks around until morning, I think a friend is something that Domino really could use. So welcome Kukudan to the tribe. I suppose we'll leave you with your default name for now, but in the future, I'm going to be opening up name submissions for those of you guys who are supporting the channel on Patreon, Twitch, or channel memberships. just like we have our name submissions for our Minecraft series and have for Planet Zoo in the past. You'll be able to put in names that will then get put into the random pool of nicheling names, so when they get generated like this, it'll have a chance of drawing yours. So you could see your name pop up there. And then we'll have some of you guys' names included in this as well. It's also a really fun time if you guys want to join the supporter Discord that goes along with it. We also sometimes have some pretty fun events like a WolfQuest multiplayer game that's coming up on September 10th at 2 p.m. Central Time. So if you want to support the channel, have the chance to suggest some names for these guys, as well as participate in other things and maybe get to play WolfQuest multiplayer for a featured video like the last event that we had, definitely make sure to check that out. But Cuckoo, welcome. I think Domino would probably hop down here and kind of guide him over to this berry bush over here. He is a little bit older. He's actually 33 days old, so he's not completely that old, but she's only 16 days old, so he's still a young adult, but a bit older than her. Let's have him settle down here. He's pretty tired, but he does have those nimble fingers. Oh, Domino. Maybe you should show him over to the tree over here. He certainly can gather from this berry bush, and he certainly will need to, all things considered. Okay, things are occurring. I did hear a berryina, but there's actually someone else over here too. Hello? Let's snatch up some food before too much of it goes away. And Domino, why don't you take a sniff over here? Who is this? Cucurvan. You're an interesting one as well. You've got that really big claw. We did just hear a growl in the bushes too, so that might not be bad. Although, wait a second here. 36 and 34. You guys have some pretty similar traits. Are you two brothers? You both have names starting with that. Because we have Cucurvan and Cuckoodan. Oh, I bet you guys are brothers. Okay. Alright. We will offer you some food. It's gonna put us a little bit low on food. Let's have you gather some of this, but maybe you'll be able to help us if we end up finding trouble. I definitely heard a growl somewhere, but I don't see anything. So I suppose we'll leave these guys to sleep away the night. Maybe it's ignoring us? I don't see it. We better gather up some food, though, because we are quite low. I don't think Domino, when she called out for some friends, I don't think she was expecting to find two of them at once. Let's have these guys see if they can clear out a path. Oh, there's a Dodomingo as well. Alright, there are a few. Are you able to hop over here? Yes. Let's have you gather up that acorn so we don't run out of food. Okay, Cucurvan. Maybe you should hop up here and scout around. It'd be good to get an eye out for that berryina in case it comes lurking. I don't even know if Domino knows what that sound was, although considering she is a young orphan, maybe she's all too acquainted with it. I think it set all of the little tribe here on edge, though, so let's uneasily start a new day. Oh, this guy's moved up here, but I don't see anything. Domino, you can gather. You're about to become an adult too. I'm pretty sure that that happens at 20 days of age. So let's see if you can assist with some of this. Yes, we can crack some of those acorns open, and that'll give us a bit of extra food. Kukirvan, be careful not to draw anything back to the little area we've set up in here. But I think he seems like the fighter of the brothers. Perhaps Kukudan is a little bit more peaceful. And I think he's probably the most antsy about this sound, considering he's probably had to be the one to fight off any threats that caused them trouble in the past. I wonder what these two's story is. They seem to have been traveling together because Kukiravan was so quick to show up. He's a little bit older too, but just by 2 days. So maybe they're not brothers, maybe they're cousins, because I think we do have the pregnancy duration up to 3 days in this. We've changed some of the settings, and the most notable ones are that healing is amplified, lifespan is, as you can see, up to 120 days, and we did turn off the rogue males. They just make things kind of complicated. They're a bit frequent, so we will only be encountering normal wanderers here. But it looks like everyone is once again out of energy, so we'll let them sleep. Still not smelling or hearing anything. Kukudan's enjoying being set up right over here, and Domino she's reached adulthood. I think she's gonna hop back over here and gather from this berry bush because we need to keep our food up. And maybe we'll make sure, let's have you shake this tree. Oh, that was good. That knocked down a lot of acorns, even though you can't gather them this turn. But let's maybe have Kukirivan do some sniffing. We'll see if he is able to locate anything. We want to be careful in case that Barriena's around. No, I'm not hearing or smelling anything. I don't want you to go too far, but if trouble does find you, you seem the most able to take care of yourself. He's a bit of the scout, I think. Maybe we should make that an actual role in our tribe here. Domino, despite being so young, she is the one who kind of drew them together. I think she's quite young and full of hope. So I'm going to go ahead, we'll give her some blue gems, and we'll label her our leader. Now, we're not going to use the rank here to determine leadership. That's going to be used specifically for food order, and different creatures might use it differently. I think Domino is very clear that these guys are all on equal footing, so everybody's going to stay a beta for now. Kukirvan seems like our scout, so we'll go ahead, we'll change his... Actually, I'll do the scouts as yellow here. They'll be the ones who are kind of responsible for looking around, finding new things, and clearing the pathways of grass to make it easier to traverse. And Kukudan here, I think we will go ahead and give the orange gems to indicate that he's a gatherer. He's much less of a fighter. He's content to live a bit more of a peaceful life, it seems, just gathering these acorns under his tree. And it's not to say that the gatherers won't ever be called on to help us in a time of need in a combat, but his primary role is going to be trying to make sure we have enough food. Goodness gracious, every time this bear moves it startles me. But there's still no sign of the Barriena we were hearing earlier, so I think as Kukudan snatches up these acorns, he is very relieved, along with the others. Domino can hop up here and try to get a look around to just a little bit better sight and smell from atop this stump, and easy access to the berry bush as well, but she's not really seeing anything. And Kukirvan is going to keep heading this way. He's the one who really needs to be careful. But let's clear out some of this area, and no, it doesn't seem like the Barriena's around. It may have moved on. Oh, another acorn has fallen here. You can continue gathering too. Domino, I think, is just gonna kind of help where she's needed. And Kukir, our scout and adventurer, he's pretty curious about this jungle area. Now, he's definitely got to keep a good sniff out. I don't know if he has any experience with the jungle, but it can be a bit of a dangerous place, and he is wandering farther and farther away. You'd best be careful, buddy. You don't want to get so far that the rest of your tribe can't hear your cries. Do you want to knock down some more acorns too? Oh my goodness, what a plentiful source of food this is. I think now that we're starting to find a more reliable food source, Domino might join in the scouting just a bit. She wanted to make sure no one would be starving, but it seems like Kukudan has taken his job very seriously. He's not slacking off, that's for sure. Oh, what is this you found? Is this another normal berry bush? It is, alright. Well, as the scout, why don't you go ahead and clear some of that path and maybe shout to Domino? I think they're still within distant hearing range if they're shouting loud enough to each other. So we'll have Domino start working on clearing this path, just kind of linking up our area and making an easier to traverse area through the grassland here. There's still no sign of this Berryina, so I think these guys are gonna try to kind of meet in the middle here, clear this out. It will still go dark when it's out of their eyesight, but that's okay. As long as we have the area available to us in case we need to run for it. That said, I'm guessing the Berryina must have moved off over here, or even onto this little island. Wherever he went, he doesn't seem to be anywhere close to us. Oh, what was that? Hold on. Oh, it's one of those crabs. Ooh, do you think these guys could take it on together? Possibly, although it's, we don't have any babies, so that clearly wasn't ours, but perhaps there was something it went after here. But I think these guys are gonna go diving off into the grassland here after this crab with a bit of a reckless abandon. They are still quite young, the both of them, especially Domino here. She's barely 25. Meanwhile, I think Kukudan is content to continue gathering around his tree, maybe wondering a bit, where's everybody else gone? Don't worry, buddy. They'll be back, I'm sure. I'm sure they won't be too long, right, you guys? Oh, it's just out of reach. Look at this. It's so close and yet so far. Oh. Have we got... We might have a rabble over here stealing from us. Oh, every time they move, it moves again. I think Domino would go diving after it. Nope, it's still moving. No, but it has led them to an anthill. Ooh, and a strange new smell. A blue smell. They're both too tired to investigate it, but maybe this wild crab chase wasn't for nothing after all. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not good. I think Kukudan can hear what's happening, and he might go scurrying away behind this tree, still gather an acorn, and hope that he's camouflaged in the grass. He has +2 hiding. And to be fair, those spikes aren't exactly appetizing, but unfortunately for Kukudan, the rest of his tribe has gone plunging off into the jungle here. And I think, with the crab disappearing, I don't even know where it went. Domino's more curious about, there's a stag mole here too. Domino's more curious about this smell. Now, this we know, of course, is a healing fruit. But I don't know that any of them have ever seen one. Perhaps Domino will sample it and see what it's all about. But I'm afraid we have to rest first, and that might put Cuckoo-don in a bit of danger. Oh. Seems to have moved on. Let's let him cautiously gather up these acorns. But I think he's sitting very still and very, very quiet and wondering where in the world the rest of his tribe has gone. Over here. Does this give you anything of food value? It does not. But I think Domino understands now that she feels rejuvenated, and the tribe has learned about these mysterious healing fruits. Oh, that's that's one of the termite mounds. Yeah, I don't think they're quite aware that they can mess with those yet. Nobody really has the insects now. I don't think you have it recessively. No, you have the bird beak, which I suppose can that one. It can collect insects, but I don't know if that would be enough for you to be fully aware of it. Domino will fill her paws with these stinky, stinky fruits, though, and then I think, realizing how nasty they smell, goes skittering off again. Let's make sure we clear some of the path, though, so that if we need to come back over here for that mysterious blue fruit, we remember the way to get here. Oh no. It's a game of hiding now. Cuckoo-don can hear this. So I think he might shuffle back around the tree in the world's most terrifying game of Ring Around the Rosie. Fortunately for him, the others are on their way back, but he doesn't know how soon they'll get here. All he knows is that he needs to keep stockpiling food. He's very dedicated to that, but he might be forced to run if he's not careful. Meanwhile, Domino, I think, is gonna fill her paws with whatever she crosses paths with here. They're very nearly back to the part they've already cleared, but they've got a ways to go before they reach Cuckoo-don, and he has a Barriena stalking him. Has it noticed? No, it's moving off again. Oof, I think Cuckoo-don can breathe a sigh of relief. He might shake the tree. I hope that doesn't catch its attention, but he doesn't know how these guys are doing on food or if they'll need more. He wants to make sure he gets enough for them. And they're very nearly back now. They're getting quite close. Now, I don't know that Cuckoo-don would know to shout for help. Not when noise could be something that very much puts him at risk. I don't think he'd want to take that chance, but these two coming back rustling through the grass will hopefully go and check on him and make sure that he's alright. Oh, that Barriena's still lurking. Okay, gather your acorn and slip off over here. Meanwhile, these two are probably no idea that they should be quiet at all. They're just crashing through the brush to make sure he's alright, stampeding over. I think they noticed the silence, though. And as the next day, oh, there it is! Now, if they didn't know something was wrong, they definitely do. Okay, Cuckoo-don, this is probably not your first rodeo. It's got 3 days left. Do you have enough damage? I think you do. Oh my goodness. I think if he had the strength, he'd be rushing over, but I think that Domino would as well. Cuckoo-don, go show them that you're safe. I think he's very, very relieved to see them. They'll share their little reunion under this tree here. I think Domino is gonna think twice before running off so far again. They're all still youngsters, the whole lot of them, and that recklessness, well, it often wears off with age and experience, and I think these two had a very serious lesson. Fortunately, not one that ended in tragedy. But they will bring back word of that mysterious rejuvenating fruit way off in the jungle over here. I don't know if we'll be able to see when it grows back at this distance. They certainly wouldn't know for sure, but plants regrow, so if something happens, I think they'd know to go check on it. But with that said, I think we'll need to leave our little tribe here for now. It is getting to be about that time again, of course. There's still a lot to be explored about this world as well, too. We haven't really had time for any legends to form, but these three had best tread with caution. They never know how they might be perceived by history, to go down into myth as a tale of hope or of caution, depending on what their actions may leave behind. These three are the making of something exciting, a story that's yet to be told, and one that may well be told for generations to come. We'll have to see what foundation they end up setting. And with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, this is Jay, over and out.